Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Yet another episode of Crushing Fantasy Football. I am Bryce Lockridge, your host of the show. All right, guys, today I have a list here of buy low trade targets. Now, these are guys that are going to have great season-long value, but they've busted in the past few weeks. And so we have a very good chance to buy low on these players and add a stud to our roster. So I'm going to be getting into every single player on my list and talking to you about why you need to grab this player. And not only that, but I'm going to be ranking every player on my scale on an attainability scale of 1 to 10. So the closer they are to 10 on the attainability scale, the more attainable they are. So, if they're a 9 out of 10 on the attainability scale, you don't have to give up nearly as much firepower off of your team as if they were 3 out of 10 on the attainability scale. So I'm going to be getting right into it with first player on my list, and that is Melvin Gordon. So Melvin Gordon is a 6.9 out of 10 on my attainability scale. He's very attainable right now, very much because of the fact that people are terrified of the Denver offense. Look, this guy had 3 receptions for 49 yards in this past game. He had 15 carries. He had over 100 yards from scrimmage. And this is all in a game where the Broncos couldn't get anything going. So imagine once this offense really starts to click, they have nowhere to go but up. They literally cannot possibly be worse than they were this past week. So considering the fact that they were that bad and Melvin Gordon still had over 100 yards from scrimmage is a very good sign. Look for him to go off in weeks where the offense is actually more efficient. And considering the fact that he gets to head this backfield now and is going to get probably a 70 to 75% opportunity share as far as the workload in this backfield, I love Melvin Gordon on the season. People are terrified of the Broncos offense right now. Take advantage of this poor thinking. Trust me, he's still going to be very good on a season-long standpoint. Go ahead and grab this guy while you have the chance. Next player on my list is going to be Tyreek Hill, guys. Tyreek Hill has seen 50 targets on the early season. This is top 7 in the NFL. He's top 3 in his yards per route run, 3.66 yards per route run. So he's making great things happen for his offense every time he runs a route. This is a very good sign. This is a guy who is creating great cushion in his routes and getting wide open, especially downfield. He leads the league, and he's, up there with the top receivers in the league as far as deep targets like he is every single year. Right now, he's a little bit banged up, and his quarterbacks are banged up. Look, Tua's probably going to be out this coming week. Teddy Bridgewater is dealing with an injury himself. He's struggling to stay on the field. Tyreek Hill himself is dealing with an injury. So all of these injury concerns can easily cause panic for Tyreek Hill owners. And if they're desperate for wins immediately, they're going to want players that can give them immediate value. And the injury concerns are going to cause them to give up Tyreek Hill way cheaper than they normally would. So right now, this is a guy that's, he's a 3.9 out of 10 on my attainability scale because it is Tyreek Hill. And I still think it might be a little bit difficult to get him because of the name. But considering the fact that, all of these injuries have taken place recently, and, if you combine that with, trading with a player in your league that is desperate for wins immediately, the injury concerns can cause them to sell him for cheaper than they normally would. So grab this guy while you have the chance. Next player on my list is going to be Devonte Smith. Now, Devonte Smith has seen a 25% team target share. This is a very good sign. I love the fact that he's actually able to catch passes at all levels of the field and not just be used as a field stretcher. He had 11 targets in this last game. This offense is trending in an upward direction. I love Devonte Smith on the season. 3 out of his first 5 games, he's had 80-plus receiving yards, so the yardage totals are great so far. He's in an offense that is turning into one of the better offenses in the league. I love his upside on the year. He didn't do that great this past week. He's a 7.3 out of 10 on the attainability scale. Go get Devonte Smith while you have the chance. Next player on my list is going to be Cortland Sutton. Now, Cortland Sutton has seen 9 red zone targets. This is top 5 in the NFL. Again, red zone targets are one of the most important statistics you can possibly have as a wide receiver. So the fact that he's getting peppered with targets within the red zone is a very good sign. He has a 28% team target share. He's seen 611 air yards. He is top 3 in the NFL with, as far as his air yard share, which he is pretty much every single season. This guy is notorious for being targeted a lot downfield. He's got a great deep ball throw on Russell Wilson to sling him the rock. And despite the fact that the Broncos offense has been very disappointing, Cortland Sutton has still been very good. He's been seeing double-digit targets in a lot of weeks. He's racking up very good reception totals, yardage totals. Look for this to be one of the better wide receivers in fantasy this year. If he could produce this good of fantasy numbers playing in an offense that's been absolutely terrible, imagine how good he can be once this offense really starts to click. Look for him to have tremendous upside going forward. Right now, you could buy low on him because people don't want to play anyone in the Broncos offense. So he's a 7.1 out of 10 on the attainability scale. Go get Cortland Sutton while you have the chance. Next player on my list is going to be George Kittle. Now, George Kittle has seen an 18.8% target share. This is top 8 in the NFL. But I have him as a 9.5 out of 10 on my attainability scale because he has done absolutely nothing as a pass catcher since coming back, since returning in week 3. Right now, he leads all tight ends in snap share. he has a 94% snap share, which is absolutely insane. A very big reason for this is because they love to use him as a blocker because he's such an incredible blocker. But you've got to figure that they're going to start targeting him more as he comes back from his injury. It takes time for players to come back from injury and actually receive significant target share in their offense. He did see more targets in this past week than he saw in weeks 3 and 4. So the target share looks like it's trending in an upward direction for George Kittle. He would have had actually a pretty decent game this past game if he didn't have the fumble. 5 catches for 47 yards for a tight end definitely isn't terrible. And we know that he's going to have those massive boom weeks where he wins you the week because it is George Kittle. So right now, while he's very attainable, you can get him for dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. You can get George Kittle right now for absolutely nothing. And he's still going to give you 1 or 2 of those games this year where he absolutely goes off and gives you a week winning performance. So get George Kittle while you have the chance. Next player on my list is going to be Jamar Chase. Now, Jamar Chase has run 202 routes this year. He is top 3 in the NFL, and his routes run. He's seen 53 targets. This is top 5 in the NFL. So this guy is getting a significantly increased target share from what he had last year. And considering how good he had last year, if you came into the season and told me Jamar Chase is going to have a significantly increased target share, I would tell you, well, then, he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy, right? Look how good he was with a medium to high target share. Now he has a ridiculous target share, and his numbers are actually down. He actually is second in the league in red zone targets with 11 red zone targets. This is a very good sign, guys. We know that red zone targets are critically important, and considering the fact that he hasn't really gone off in weeks 2, 3, 4, and 5, there's a great buy low window for Jamar Chase right now, and you could get this guy on your team right now for way cheaper than you could normally get him. I have him as a 7 out of 10 on my attainability scale. He's very attainable in the trade market right now. Go get Jamar Chase while you have the chance. Next and final player on my list is going to be Aaron Jones. Now, Aaron Jones, despite splitting a backfield, is top 7 in the NFL in rushing yards. He has 390 rushing yards. We're looking at a hyper-efficient running back here. This is a guy who averages 6.4 yards per touch, 6.4 yards per carry. Both of these statistics are top 3 in the NFL. Guys, 6.5 yards per touch. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is a running back that's averaged over 5 yards a carry in his career. His efficiency is through the roof. He has a breakaway run rate of 11.5%. What that means is 11.5% of the time when he gets a handoff, he's running the ball for 15 yards or more. Guys, this is a very explosive running back. And on top of all this, he's run 86 routes, which is top 12 in the NFL. This is a very good sign because, his target share is actually down from what I think we expected it to be with Devonte Adams leaving the team. But considering the fact that he's still top 12 in the NFL at the running back position in routes run, leads me to believe that his target share will inevitably go up as the season goes along. So, along with the great efficiency, look for him to see an increased target share as the season goes along. So I love Aaron Jones from a season-long standpoint. He wasn't that great this past week, so get him on your team while you have the chance. All right, guys, appreciate you tuning into the video. I will catch you later.